It's the 12th of July, Sunday, and I'm just walking out onto the trail next to South Pass City. I did skip a section of trail, essentially from just before Steamboat to South Pass City. So a Great Divide Basin and the area around in Encampment and Rawlins, because we spent that time in Glacier National Park, exploring the park. Driving through the basin today, I must say I don't regret a day. You can just about see behind me what the Great Basin looks like for about 100 miles. It's just nothing but sagebrush, dirt roads, a couple of wild horses, and a pretty bad heat wave for Wyoming standards. So Marlene kindly dropped us off here at the highway where the CDT picks off. Spent the weekend in Rawlins at halfway days, which was really neat. It was a really cool event put on by the city of Rawlins and a whole bunch of other organizations. And it was cool because all the hikers that were like somewhere around the Rawlins area congregated in town, and I hadn't seen a lot of them for weeks, so it was really cool to just catch up. When I say we, I mean Stuart and Janergy and me have decided to team up for this next section because we are deep in Grizzly country now. And one of the things that keeps the bear away is hiking in groups and being fairly loud. So it's the three of us for now, and you'll hear more about that shortly. Well, this part of the trail certainly has a little bit of a New Mexico vibe. I mean, it's not as bad, and the basin was probably a lot worse from what people have told me. But it's dry, it's hot, it's arid, it's dusty. There's no sand though, so that's good. So yeah, this video is picking up after a little gap, I guess. We did spend a lot of time in Grand Lakes, and we did have plans to do a lot of hikes and camping in Rocky Mountain National Park, but unfortunately we could only realize about half of what we had planned, because as it's always the case, once you go on holidays and you start relaxing, people get sick. So Marlene came down with a really nasty cough and cold, so it didn't really make sense for us to hike out into the backcountry and climb mountains. So we did end up spending more time in town. We did some stuff around the lake and on the lake. We went into the park a couple of times with a car. And then we did hike smaller trails and went to see animals and stuff like that. So it was a very relaxing holiday in a way, especially for my legs. It is something else if you do not have any major hikes for like a week or so. You do notice how your body goes through like a cycle of recovery. And it was also just overall awesome to have her around. We haven't seen each other in almost 3 months, so that was really, it was a very worthwhile side adventure for us. And yeah, I just caught up the time that I lost on trail by skipping forward to Wyoming. So I did miss a section of the CDT, but I am not too worried about it. I also did miss a couple of highlights, I guess, that would have happened on the trail if I would have continued the red line. And that is, on the one side, the official halfway point. So I'm now officially in the red line second half of the CDT. It's still about 1600 miles left, but it depends a lot on how you do it. There's a lot of alternates in that northern section of the CDT. So there's also a very big one called the Big Sky alternate that takes off, I don't even know, a couple of 100 miles of the CDT. And there's a whole bunch of other alternates. So depending on how I end up hiking that. I don't even know how much is left, to be honest. I just know it's about mid-July, and I'm trying to finish by early to mid-September. That's kind of my plan. So put as much nice and beautiful hiking into this time frame as I can. There's Yellowstone coming up, there's the Wind River Range, and we're just walking into probably tomorrow. There's a Bob Marshall Wilderness coming up, the Chinese Wall, there's Glacier National Park, so it's a lot of highlights on this northern stretch, and I'm really looking forward to this. Another thing that I did miss is I didn't hike through the Wyoming-Colorado border. I mean, we did cross it by car. I'm leaving Colorado with Malena on the way to Wyoming. It was a love affair between me and Colorado. I really enjoyed hiking through it. I really enjoyed the altitude. I enjoyed the mountains. And a specific shout out and big thank you goes to the staff at Shadow Cliff Mountain Resort, where we stayed for the last couple of weeks several times.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely the best place to stay in Grand Lake. So any hiker coming to Grand Lake, do stay at the Shadow Cliff. It's highly recommended in every regard. So thank you, Colorado, for hosting us and bearing with us for the last couple of weeks. It was a pleasure, and welcome, Wyoming. I finally made it to the state line of Colorado and Wyoming. Not quite the way it was planned initially, because we're actually driving to Wyoming, but it marks the halfway point regardless. So it's another state line, even though I didn't fully finish Colorado technically. And yeah, these state crossings are always a point of reflection and of looking back and also looking forward. So I do have some thoughts on the halfway point and on the continuous journey of this trail that I'm on, and how I'll be hiking the second half and what I've realized. And I'll be sharing these over the couple of next days, because we did, like I said, have some time to take off trail, and I did have some time to think about what I want out of this trail and what I want for the second half. Well, another thing that is new, like I said, first of all, we're hiking in a group now, and that's also or specifically related to the fact that we are in Grizzly territory now. Lander, or the southern Wind River Range, is kind of the area where the Grizzly territory starts, and from here to Canada is Grizzly country. So it is better to hike in a group, to make noise, and of course to do proper bear caution and precautions. So I also did pick up my Ursack, so a smell safe bag, so to speak, and a Kevlar bag that you put your smellables and your food in at night, so you leave as little of a smell print, if that's the thing, as possible, and try to keep the bear safe as well, so for them not to become habituated to associate humans with food, or especially with easily accessible food. I, for my part, still haven't actually seen a bear, not a black bear, even though almost the entirety of the CDT is black bear territory. A lot of other hikers have seen them. They usually scuttle away pretty quickly, so they're definitely out there. I just didn't get to see one. I saw a lot of moose and all the other animals, of course, deer, elk, marmots, all of those animals, but I haven't actually seen a bear. And I'm a bit torn. On the one side, I actually want to see one. On the other side, I don't really have to have bear encounters. I am a bit anxious about them because I just have zero experience with them. A lot of people tell me you don't really have to worry too much if you do proper precautions, if you're loud, if you behave accordingly. Chances of a negative encounter are extremely slim. But regardless, I mean, it is an awkward feeling actually encountering another human being, not a human being, but another living being that could potentially just rip you to shreds if it wants to. We don't really have that in Europe too much. We do have bears, but you never ever see them. And they also are not really too dangerous, I guess. We do have wolves somewhere, but again, it's one of those things. Sometimes they kill animals and sheep and stuff, but as humans, you don't really have to be too worried about them yet. As so often in these arid stretches, our daily schedule is determined by water sources. So because we only started hiking at 3,
Hello!
because we only started hiking at 3, took a break at the first water source, and we're gonna try to camp at the second one. Just gonna give us about, I think, around an 11-mile day or something, and then that'll put us just short of 20 miles of the Circle of the Towers Alt, which is the first like real stretch into the Wind River Range. And we're already grown. We went from 3 to 4 people, picked up Mr. Sunshine along the way, who was just coming out of Lander as well. And yeah, since we only started at 3, we're gonna walk a little longer today and then camp later. So we're probably gonna get to camp by 7:30 or so, right next to a river.
My trail name is Mr. Sunshine. I'm middle-aged. I'm from Virginia in the eastern United States. I live right by Shenandoah National Park.
All right.
By the Appalachian Trail. I got my trail name on the AT in short because I got rained on. The longer version is I thought I could outrun some thunderstorms and decided to go get some water as the thunder cloud was moving in. I went about a quarter mile. I got some water. I came back absolutely drenched in a thunderstorm. Everyone was having a nice laugh about that, and I told them that I don't know what they're talking about because there was sunshine over there.
Okay.
Mr. Sunshine. I hiked the AT 2 years ago. I hiked the PCT last year. Of the 3, in my mind, the CDT was the harder one.
Mm-hmm.
So it made sense to get the experience of the other 2 first, and then come in and do this one last. Well, so I was saying before that some of the good ones are when I've had some folks come and hike with me. On the AT, I had a friend come in from another part of the state, and we just like lined up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
And he hiked with me for 3 days. My father then dropped off my sister as he picked him up.
Mm-hmm.
And then my sister and my niece hiked with me for a day. It was just like completely smooth and awesome. I had a buddy I met on the AT come and meet me on the PCT.
Mm-hmm.
And he drove down from British Columbia, parked his car where we were going to end our hike, hitched 150 miles to meet me, and it also worked out perfectly. We made that same night. And he hadn't hiked for a year, and he just got on trail and started doing 30s.
Okay.
Awesome. We've been talking a lot about cleanliness earlier today. I did hike to the top of a pass on the PCT and found toilet paper and the everything that person left with their toilet paper at the top. And that's not the smell that you want to experience when you reach the top of a climb. That was a bad day. I got poison ivy on both my feet. I broke my ankle and I broke my shoulder in 3 separate incidents on trail. Those were rough days. Those weren't that bad though. I got over them.
Perfect.
So,
Is there anything you feel people should know about hiking the CDT?
oh, they should do it. The CDT has been awesome because it's had the most animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not a peak bagger. I don't care about peaks at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I do care about seeing a moose.
Sweet.
So